let's see, what did we do? We defeated the tree
Winter Splinter.
at the
Yep.
winery, Splinter at the winery, and then made our way up to or over to the windmill and see what's up with the hags. And lo and behold, we got into a little scuffle, and then were able to set the place on fire, which was a huge benefit because they scattered after that.
Yes. So it's basically like an entire nighttime / morning of combat and traveling places. But where you find yourselves is about 5 o'clock in the morning on day 6 in front of the windmill that was once the Hag's Bakery burning down to the ground. What is everybody doing?
It's a beautiful sight. Has anybody got marshmallows? No. Well, what are we off to now?
Well, as I believe we had all decided previously to head towards Krezk.
I believe that was the case.
That sounds right.
Near Fizzbang, Mr. Spiffy, we'll all wait here to see if Jabber shows up and to make sure that none of the hags return to try to grab any of their stuff while you guys head to Krezk.
Ooh, cool. I'm not evil, that's just how it sounds when I say cool.
I do like your accent.
That's what this is. I absolutely hate it.
As you guys are walking and talking, you make it about to the village of Vallaki, and you see that instead of the regular posters that you were greeted to before, you see wanted posters. And even from this distance, you can point out the fact that they do, in fact, look like a lot of your characters' likenesses.
So, this is the time where, how do you feel / have tools for forgery?
I'm really good at making things.
Don't know, the deceptive touch is quite the same.
Well, I look at it one way is if someone's in danger and they need some help and an obstacle might be in the way, I figure out ways to get around the obstacles.
Okay, so I don't suppose we have any forgery tools to go ahead and try to change up his images a little?
They are like on the walls, the wooden palisades by the gates.
Yeah, so that's...
I have a logistics question.
Yes.
Since I was disguised as multiple people, would my image be up on that board?
It's not the most likely thing, but they caught what you looked like in a description of you from when you originally came through the east gate. Or, I'm sorry, the west gate.
Known associates.
Yep.
All that.
You do see that they have you down as Lugosi.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good. That's...
But you were able to bypass and keep a good swath around the town of Vallaki.
Let's keep a wide berth.
All right, we are coming. If anybody doesn't have any objections, I'm going to take us to the bridge, and I need one person to roll me a 1d6.
Got it. 4.
On the bridge with fishing poles, you see two rough-looking men, furs on their backs, scars across their body. They're casting fishing lines in the bridge. They don't seem to pay any attention to you just yet, as they're more just kind of like engrossed in conversation, fishing.
Who's engrossed in conversation?
Two gentlemen
Sorry, I
that
missed
look
part of
like
that.
two gentlemen that look like they're hunters.
Ah,
You guys catch any fish yet?
Oh, yeah, we've caught a few.
I hear that the fishing ain't too good around these parts.
No, but we're going to need the bait if we're going to catch that lake monster.
Oh,
the lake
Lake
monster?
Yes. Well, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Soldar Soldarovich, and this is my associate Yevgeny Krushkin. We are both hunters, and we are on the take for...
Dandy Soldar. I am Adrian von... I'm Adrian.
Soldar Soldarovich and Yevgeny Krushkin.
I'm never going to be able to pronounce those names. You can just call me JD.
Ah, JD. You can call me Soldar and him Krush.
Russian Soldar. All right. Just kind of curious. What kind of monster did you say you're looking for?
So, in these lands, there are much creatures. There is a mighty stag, and he points across, is like in those woods, huge horns. He points over to the mountain top. Vasilka Pass, there is a large bird. Yeah, points. Let me force ping that. Vasilka Pass, there is a large bird who picks people off and flings them. Then, here in Lake Zop, you have what we call the gulper, large, almost like frog, comes up and eats people out of boats. That's the reason why the fishing has been so shitty, and we were trying to catch things out of the mouth of the river.
What kind of bait you looking for?
Mainly carp, sometimes trout.
We got any of that?
I don't think so.
No.
It's worth a try.
It's all right. We are good fishermen. We take care of these things.
Well, I have faith in you.
Perhaps we can take the creature, like Zarovi.
Possibly. We've been at it for a while.
What was the last sighting of this froggy frog?
It was about 2 weeks ago, before the fishing got bad. Pretty soon it was just old Bluto, that drunk, who was the only one out fishing on the boats.
Wasn't he the one that was threw the girl in?
He was.
I can't remember what happened to him.
Oh, we know, but we
We
can't say.
took him somewhere, right?
Out of game, Bluto was taken to the Vistani camp that is to the
That's
southwest and dealt with harshly. He's
Yeah,
probably
that's right. I
floating.
remember
I remember right. That's what kind of got some of you aligned more evil, wasn't it?
Actually, nobody in this group partook in that particular gruesome act.
Okay.
No, I believe
like-
I believe I remarked on their bloodlust.
I forgot about that. That's right.
They ask you where you're going.
Lake Baratok, right?
Lake Baratok, by that old crazy fucking tower.
What do you know about the town?
I just know that a lot of people don't go there. They say it's haunted.
I was giggling at this point. All of these lands are haunted.
Yes.
I
But
feel
this
like the
place
whole-
especially more than most. I don't know. We've been hunting around that area. We saw a woman, the Stani probably. She parked a cart there about a week and a half ago and then left towards Krezk.
So, do you want to clean out these lakes, or do we head to the town?
We've been trying to catch this river monster for a while. We still don't know where its lair's at. But what's your name? Maybe we can call upon you when we find it.
Adrian.
Adrian. Oh, and JD. And then you,
Mhm.
friend. Kojin.
Kojin.
Huh. Name sounds familiar for some reason. Okay.
Let's go.
I feel like we'll be back this way.
Yes, don't get eaten by any wolves.
That's the plan.
All right.
So we
Plan.
take the north path up to the tower.
Yeah, if you guys want to head over to the tower, that's too easy.
Was that where we were going first, or are we just on our way to Krezk?
It pretty much all leads to Krezk. If you would have turned south, you would have went to the ruins of Berez. If you would have went southern and then went down again, you would have hit Argynvostholt. So you're pretty much taking the most direct route to Krezk. You do notice when you get a little bit closer, some of the hilltops have seemed to grow a little bit snow-capped and stuff like that.
We did learn that the werewolves. Oh, never mind. I can see it now. My bad.
That's all good.
Yeah, so the werewolves are on the other side of the lake. Oops.
They are, but there's a way to get there. The Raven River that runs into Lake Baratok, you cross that bridge, and then you can pretty much head through the woods. If you come to a cold mountain lake enclosed by misty woods and rocky bluffs. Thick fog creeps across the dark still waters. The trail ends at a grass-covered causeway that stretches 100 yards across the lake to a flat marshy land with a tower that sits on top of it. The tower is old and decrepit. The collapsing scaffolding clings to one side where a large gash has been split into the wall. Time-worn griffin statues, their wings and flanks covered with moss, perch atop the buttress that supports the walls. Parked near the base of the tower within sight of the entrance is a barrel-topped wagon splattered with mud. What would you like to do?
I'd like to investigate the wagon.
If there's anything in that wagon.
Does not look like it has anything attached to it. It is one of the Vistani wagons. The door at the back of it is closed.
Kind of, check the door. Rub my hand across it before going to open it.
All right, give me an investigation check.
Oh, better roll mode now. This works better. Great. That wants me because of my skill to start with advantage, but this doesn't have anything to do with that. Got a 14.
14.
A respectable 14.
As you're feeling around it, you don't feel anything attached to the exterior of the doorway. You give it a little bit of a push, and with the gentle creaking, you hear the clamoring of glass hitting on glass.
What was that? Did you guys hear that?
Oh, so it's coming from inside?
Yes.
Oh,
Whatever, there's something against the door,
Yeah,
and sounds like a bunch of glass vials.
interesting.
We don't see anyone around them.
You do not see anybody around. The tower is pretty tall. It seems to be about probably 3-4 stories. You don't see anybody looking out of it at you.
All right.
Well, I'll cover you if you want to open that door.
Well, I'm going to, but hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and take like a 10-foot back, and I'd like to Indiana Jones my whip to pull this door
Okay.
and let whatever's about to fall out, fall out.
All right. So you're about 10 feet back. Where's everybody else?
Standing back as well.
Also
Well-
10 feet further back.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
all
10
in.
feet.
Yeah.
All right. I need everybody who is within 30 feet of it to make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw.
Hot damn. All right, that was not far enough.
Oh man. Oh, I don't have inspiration anymore.
See, now I wish I had that bardic inspiration. Perfect.
Yeah, let's see. I get Kojin with a 17. So, Kojin, you take 20 points of fire damage as this entire wagon erupts and blows up. Dan, Jack, you take 40 points of fire damage. And then what did you get, Adrian? An 11?
Yeah.
So you also take 40 points of fire damage as you
I'm down.
basically
I'm so
get
down.
hit. So you guys get rocked. Both Dan Jackules and Adrian, I believe, are at 0 hit points as the
Got a
alchemist
question for you.
fire and explosive material that had booby trapped the inside of this door hit. You guys fly back. Treasure and everything else gets scattered everywhere as pretty much a large plume hits up and then rocks the side of the tower. Kojin, since you're still conscious, you see arcane.
I have a question real quick. Does
Yeah.
the resistance to fire damage count on that?
Yes, it does. So you take half of that. So you
So
would only take 10.
10? Okay,
Yep.
so I just didn't know if that half counted with the...
It totally does. So we got Dan Jackules and Adrian who are laid out, bleeding out.
Holy crap. Oh, man. And we have not had a long rest.
You have not. Do you have anything that you
Does
can do in
my
the immediate?
I have one thing that I can do. I still have 5 of my lay on hands pool points left.
All right.
With that, I'm gonna go ahead and try and revive Adrian first.
Yeah, if you just did 1 hit point and 1 hit point, you would get him up and get him conscious.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. So take those off of there. So yeah, just kind of crawl over and try to wake them up so they're up.
Adrian and Dan Jackules, you are both up as you basically see the remnants of this wagon that has blown up. Your ears are still ringing the large concussive blast. They probably heard it over at the windmill, to be honest with you.
Oh, shit.
What
Yeah.
Next time we should move further back.
damn hell was that about?
It was booby trapped.
I have any healing?
You said I got healing?
I said I have no healing.
I got woken up? Was that what happened?
Yes, you got
Yeah.
1 point of healing from Kojin's lay on hands, so you are
Oh, okay.
up and at 1 hit point.
Never do that again.
Open the door. Ooh.
At this point, my head ain't straight.
When you go to like retrieve your whip, it still has the door handle attached to it.
Just gonna leave that whip.
Is that the one that Spiffy gave you?
No, that was my whip.
I thought
No, I'm gonna use the one Spiffy gave me. There's nothing special about it. They're just whips.
Perfect for dealing with problems.
I do. If we could sit around for like 10 minutes, there is another healing spell I can try.
Yeah, if you guys want to take 10 minutes, you got it.
Wait, yeah, he's gonna start praying to Kosa, the fire god. Cast prayer of healing.
Yeah, absolutely. You can start on that prayer healing. At about the end of it, you start to hear the howl of wolves starting
Holy
to crest
shit.
around Lake
Sorry.
Baratok.
I got maximum on that prayer of healing, so that's 20 hit points to both of them.
Nice.
Nice.
Everybody gets their hit points back, and then at the end of it, you start to hear the sounds of wolves at the far end of the lake. What is everybody doing?
Can we distinguish like how many different howls we hear?
It definitely sounds like more than an individual. You'd guess probably a pack of wolves have been alerted and are probably investigating the sound.
Do you want to set
Oh.
up an ambush?
Real quick, I was just curious. You had said when the explosion happened that treasure went everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, it went everywhere. Like,
That's gonna take time.
Yeah,
Instead, and a lot of it's probably destroyed. Instead, I think we can set up an ambush.
ambush.
What you got in mind?
West trees by this area. We can set up by the tree line. So they're coming up around from the lake.
all right. As you guys are setting up your ambush, you see what looks like a pack of wolves running around the far side of the lake, coming in to intercept you. They've made it to about that part right there, if you are able to see it. It's like every one of these hexes is like a quarter of a mile. You would guess that there's probably about 8 to 12.
8 to 12 wolves.
Yes.
How many of those do you think? I'm going to assume all of them. I think we should plan for the worst here and assume every last one of those is a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good assumption.
Means, my humble opinion, maybe we should get the fuck out of here.
GTFO.
What about the tower?
There is a narrow causeway across it, and the tower is there. It was rocked a little bit. You did see, like, you know what protection magic is. It basically hit the tower, and a lot of that stuff was absorbed.
Protected. Yeah.
So
I-
far, nobody's come out from the tower, so we
Not-
could use that
Do we
narrow
have 'em
passage to hold them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe we could just use that to kind of so they can't use their numbers against us.
Yeah.
Try.
It's a pretty big pathway, though. Again, each one of these hexes is like a quarter
That's
of a
right.
mile, so you're looking at like 20 yards across.
Yeah, that's nice. I hate to come all this way, and all we found was explosion and a wagon.
I say we use the tower as a retreat if we have to.
That's a good idea. Maybe we
If-
should go over and investigate where we can. See if we can even get in.
Just run over there and check it out.
Yeah, do we have time before they get here, you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Because they're still a couple miles away. If they've got to follow the shoreline anyway.
I'm gonna check around back if there's a way up.
That's a good idea. I'm going to check
So
to see if there's any.
there is scaffolding that starts to go up along the broken parts of the tower. Let me see. You know what? There is a really, really good picture of this. I apologize for not having this stuff together sooner.
Indeed.
There's a better representation of what it looked like. Sans the wagon that is now just a large smoking pile. But you will see the scaffolding going up the side, and then there is a door. It looks iron. There's no visible handles or hinges. In the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol connecting a series of lines with what looks like 8 stick figures around it. And then
Is this-
carved into the lintel above the door is a word, Kazan.
Does
Does this mean anything to you guys?
Never heard of it. What do you think? What does that mean?
Here is what the door looks like from the start of it.
Scaffolding.
It looks like a bizarre clock to me. Yeah, let's try that scaffolding.
All right, you move around side to the scaffolding. It sways a little bit with the breeze. The rotting wooden beams supporting the scaffolding, which groan and creak in the slightest breeze. There's a series of ladders and platforms leading to a hole in the northwest side of the tower.
I will test the scaffolding.
How much do you weigh?
How much do I weigh?
You with all your gear, how much?
I mean, with all my gear, which isn't a lot now.
Over or under 200 pounds?
I'm gonna say it's over,
Over?
probably.
You
and
start to get
there you
up and
go.
start
There
putting
you go. Over the
pressure
stairs.
on it. And with the amount of weight, you notice it start to groan and creak. You don't think that you can get higher than this safer with as much as you weigh. The whole thing's going to go down.
Do we see where the scaffolding goes? Is
There is, in fact, it looks like a couple high.
Just a bit under, but
yeah.
There is a hole that is up in the side that's in part of that area.
And how high do you think that is?
You would guess if there were floors, that'd be about the 3rd floor.
So that's about 30 feet. I'm gonna take. Do you think you can climb a rope?
I can climb the rope. I could scale these walls.
Oh, then what the hell are we doing? Let's go. I weigh 27 pounds, 27 and a half.
I guess
Wait,
I'll just grab a rope, and I'm gonna sort of avoid the scaffolding a bit. Go up to the brick and sort of tick my way up.
All right, you're able to spider climb your way up there. It does look like that scaffolding would not have held you if you would have went up past the second layer of it, or the second
I
level of
figured.
it.
Do I have anything to secure the rope to? That's really what I'm looking for. Just do that. I had to give up my spikes, so I don't have those anymore.
We'll say yes, there are various pieces of whatever that you can put it on. The tower has like arrow slits. You can just like loop it around from the arrow to the arrow slits, and you're good.
Tie it down, secure it, all that fun jazz,
All right.
and sort of take a look inside while I'm waiting for them to climb up.
As you're waiting for them to climb up, you can see on the 3rd floor that time and elements have all but destroyed this chamber, leaving gashes in the northwest wall and slimy black mildew on the walls. The wooden floor is completely rotten and has begun to fall away in pieces. You also notice that there are 4 chains that are running up, and as you look up, you see a platform above you that is there. There looks to be some sort of mechanism for a lift. You've seen stuff like this in the places that you've grown up. It's a rudimentary elevator.
Can I locate wherever mechanism is to operate it, send it up and down, etc.?
You look down, you see 4 clay-looking figures all on knees holding the chains.
Okay. And the chains go all the way down, so we could probably grab onto those.
Yeah, about that time, Kojin and Dan Jackals make it up. The rest of the wolves are starting to patrol around. They're looking around. They're cutting a wide berth around this tower.
Can I kick the?
Wait. If they do come, leave it.
Okay.
It couldn't hold me. It won't hold them.
That's a good idea.
All right. I like your plan. I like your thinking.
But pull up the rope.
And we can pull up. We can kick the scaffolding if we need to.
You're like, pull the rope up.
Pull the rope up, but yeah, let him climb the janky ladder. We're pretty sure was gonna.
And Mr. Dan Jackals.
To me, that's better than closing the door that doesn't exist behind us.
At least we got a nice view.
But I kind of thought they wouldn't come close to it, because like they said, this place is especially haunted.
All right. So that's where we're at. Oh, I should probably put you guys on the actual like token layer. That's what it looks like. Up on top, you see basically what looks like a sealed hatch with 4 chains running through it that go all the way to the bottom. You're looking through another set of decrepit set of floors, and then on the very bottom, you see 4 human construct looking humanoids, each holding on to the ropes.
And I'm gonna take a gold piece. I'm gonna drop it down the hole.
All right. It clambers to the bottom. They don't seem to react.
It's it's good to check. Best gold I ever spent. Let's climb down.
Are the
You-
wolves still giving the area wide berth? Can we
They
tell?
are. They do not seem to want anything to do with this tower. They are sniffing around the remnants of the wagon, and then as through the arrow slits, you see one and then another one. They start to turn into like a humanoid figure as they're like going through, rifling through things. These are werewolves.
Yeah.
How far away are they? What's the distance?
You would guess that they are approximately 40 feet out and about 30 feet down.
Start taking pot shots at them. I say go for it if we're looking through arrow slits.
Well,
Use
Yeah,
what
if they
they're
can get that
designed for.
kind
You have a crossbow, don't you?
either one of you have range?
I have no range. I had to get
No
rid of the
range?
crossbow when we got arrested.
Yeah, I have. All I have is I can throw fire at them from 30 feet away. That's it.
Yeah, that will cover the down, but it won't get the out.
And I know now this is the second time I'm going to say this. I chose between my fine clothes and my crossbow, and I do not regret my choice.
Well, what? So if I take a pop shot, obviously they're gonna know where we're at.
Yes, it is going to be very easy for them to see that an arrow came from the tower.
Go for it, shoot. If you can get their attention.
Yeah, but they can pretty much just sit outside and wait for us because we have nowhere to go.
This is true.
Yeah, but at least you could let them know it's dangerous to head close.
Let's see. I just took sharpshooter. What? I think that gets me 120 at not disadvantage.
I'd say everything's within range, but here's the question. How many silver crossbow bolts do you have left? I'd say you at least have half left.
And you said it's 6 to 8 wolves out there or people.
Right now, you're looking, there's about 10.
10.
8 of them are wolves. 2 of them have shifted into humanoid.
You know what? That's all theirs. That's the outside. That's theirs. They'll pick up the treasure and fuck
I
off.
wonder if one of the 2 that shifted is one of your leaders you're looking for.
I would like to take a look to see, can I identify my target? I'm doubting they sent him out with this. I'm looking for the alpha dog, and I'm looking for their head. So I'm assuming I know what that head looks like if I'm sent by my faction.
You were notified that the alpha is the name Kuril, and Kuril is not any of the ones that you see who shifted into a human.
Yeah, I kind of figured. This is a scouting party. I'm looking for the top dog. They don't send the top dog. The top
Alright.
dog has dogs for that. But hey, maybe if we wait here long enough and piss him off, he'll come. Force the boss fight, you know what I mean? Skip the ladder, go right to Shao Kahn.
Well, you got 10 of them right here.
I think we should,
Use the gift.
yeah, something, the lift. Something was out there.
Once you go up the word, we get a good view of the horizon. Maybe.
But it's good to look around. Perhaps we see another escape.
All right, so how are you trying to figure out how to use the lift?
Well, the mechanism's down there. At least we see them holding there, so help to take a closer look. And I'm gonna start climbing
Lower
down the
you
chain.
down with the rope.
You climb down the chains, and you notice that when you touch down to about the front of it, they stand up, and then they have the chains. They seem to all in unison turn towards you, as if expecting something.
I'm gonna wait till everyone sort of clears where I can see, like, the lift might come down. Obviously, let's all stand out of the way.
You're standing there, they're still grabbing the chain and looking
Mhm.
for you, looking at you.
Up, please.
They start pulling the thing up, and they get about 2 jerks on the chain, and then it's stuck there.
Yeah, I want to go down, please.
They slowly and lumberingly start lowering it. This thing's going slowly but surely, but it's making its way all the way down to the bottom. And then it settles with a minor amount of dust at the bottom. You now have lift access, which looks like all the way up to the top.
Fantastic.
There you go. I'll put that in there just in case y'all need to take a look from there.
All right.
Is there anything else on this bottom floor that we noticed?
So the flagstone floor is strewn with debris and a few old crates that stand near the east wall. A torn curtain of the south partially obscures the tower vestibule. A 5-foot square indentation in the center of the floor contains 4 pulley attachment and taut chains that stretch all the way up through similarly sized holes in the rotted wooden ceilings. Standing next to the chains are 4 tall clay statues.
Check the crates.
It's all food and clothing, and it just looks like an assortment of just like common goods. Nothing that would be worth any money to you.
You said food and clothing? Like, does it look new? I'm not looking for the treasure. I'm actually looking like they said this place is haunted. I'm taking a peep around.
So the food looks like it's still edible. It looks like it's preserved. So it looks like somebody's living in here. And the clothing fits a humanoid male. It looks like it's a little flamboyant.
Well, I'm gonna take actually a look at a little bit of that clothing. Like, hold it up to myself. Nah.
It doesn't fit you.
Nah, I have a very athletic and firm build, strong build.
All right, are you guys going up to the 4th level?
But I'm gonna point out, like, hey, it seems as somebody's leaving here.
Can I ready an egg?
Yeah.
Just I feel like we're gonna get ambushed.
I'm just instead gonna have my guard up and sort of take the dodge defensive action, just in
I'm going
case.
to. Kojin's gonna cast produce flame and just kind of keep a flame hovering above his hand.
The
Not that he
platform right up there is slow and jerky. There's numerous times that if you would not have been expecting it or bracing yourselves, you probably would have fallen off. But unlike the levels below, this room shows signs of recent habitation. And although the place reeks of mold and mildew, it has plenty of creature comforts, including a cozy bed, a desk with matching chair, bright tapestries, and a large iron stove with plenty of wood to feed it. Light encounters through window slits as well as through dirt-caked windows and broken shutters. Other features of the room include a standing suit of armor and a wooden chest. Old wooden rafters bend under the weight of the tower's roof, which has somehow remained intact. Mounted to the rafters are pulleys around which hang onto iron chains and support the tower's elevator platform. Also, Kojin, when you try to produce flame, it does not work. Something is blocking you from your magic.
Something is stopping my magic. When we get to the top and look around, we don't see anybody at this point, right?
You see a large set of armor, but other than that, you can tell that it's been lived in.
I'm gonna go check out that armor real quick.
I gotta know then. Like, if he does that and it doesn't work, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna bite my hand and blood my whip up and see if I can invoke my blood ritual. And if that works.
There's an anti-magic field in here, so you're unable to tap into those types of magic.
Oh, boy,
That's-
The armor on the wall is surprisingly well put together. It's older, probably centuries old, but it's plate mail.
So I'm assuming since this place is warded in magic, I'm going to also assume that somebody or something might be in this room with us, invisible. So I'm just going to say, if you're in here, we mean you no harm, but we need your assistance.
Oh, that's bad.
No response.
Okay.
I didn't know that the damage I take goes up too.
Oh, each level it goes up?
When I hit level 5, so like as we hit level 5, your spell casts with your cantrips, the damage is gonna go up, or maybe you cast multiple of it.
Yeah.
You know. With mine, my stuff's going up just like it would with other people's, but it also does it to me too.
There's 5 points.
I did 6. 6 points of irreducible damage to myself.
Yeah.
You can't I can't have resistance. It doesn't matter if I have resistance to that necrotic damage, I take it. Even
What's
if I'm
on the-
immune. What's that?
I was gonna ask what's on the desk.
Various papers and stuff like that.
I'm gonna check out the statue as I'm just wiping my hand. Son of a peach.
So the statue is a set of plate mail armor that is basically standing in like the traditional, like there on guard. You do notice underneath the desk there's a box.
I think that was Kojin that was looking at the desk.
Yeah, I'm just not entirely sure. And I don't mind looking around. I don't want to start messing with this person's stuff in case they are here. Can't see.
There's also a chest at the end of the bed.
What's in the box?
You do happen to also see like what looks like a journal on the desk as well.
That's what I was looking for. Am I able to read it?
Yes, just a second. Let me get into the awesomely cool players handouts and boom, everyone. Oh, you find the journal of Rudolf van Richten.
Oh, he's got a saber-toothed tiger. We've heard that name.
That's the dude who helped you guys re-get your friends who had the armored saber-toothed tiger that
Yeah.
did the stuff for the Burgo Master's mansion.
Yeah, he was the guy with the wagon and the tiger.
Yeah, but that definitely did not look like his wagon. It looked like a Vistani wagon.
So we're assuming that this place is not haunted. It's just warded, perhaps. So and there's the one statue. Just kind of looking out.
Yep, it's a set of armor, plate mail, old, centuries old, but surprisingly well preserved.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go sit on the bed and test it out.
The bed's comfortable. It does creak a little bit, but you can definitely tell that it's been lived in. Somebody does return here. Anybody looking in the chest at the foot of the bed?
Gotta look at it and see if there's a lock on it first.
There is no lock.
Sure, I'll take a peek.
You open it up, you see a waxy looking head. It's a humanoid head. Looks like a Vistani's head.
Son of a bitch. Hey, take a look at this. Look in here.
That's disturbing.
Surprised it doesn't smell more. I didn't smell it.
Seems to have been preserved somehow using oils.
I'm just gonna gently close the chest back up and say, "That's disgusting."
It's like this is the worst Jack in the Box ever.
What's in?
Now I gotta know what's in the box under the desk. I'm gonna go ahead and look.
You see a couple more supplies.
Alright.
It's a rolled up map of Barovia. Certain places are crossed out. You do see where the Vistani camp was has been circled. And then you remember that one of the conditions for helping was information on the Vistani camp, which Mr. Spiffy gave to Rudolf van Richten.
Yeah, it's all coming together now. He's plotting killing a bunch of people based on the head in that chest. But I would say this gives us another foe on our side, I think.
It's a very sad story.
I'm trying to remember. Was this we met this guy? Was
Yeah.
the guy with the tiger?
So
he's-
you saw him in the Blue Water Inn in Vallaki. He was the carnival ringmaster that was eating the beet soup that had been staying there for a while. He was like the only other patron to the Blue Water Inn besides you guys. You never really interacted with him. And then Mr. Spiffy and Dan Jackules got smuggled in with the Martikovs and the wine shipment. And then they ended up conspiring with Rudolf van Richten to get you guys back. And he used the saber-toothed tiger as part of that escape attempt.
You remember that? Okay, cool.
Yes, that'd be like foremost still in your guys' mind.
You actually met him, Ben? You met this guy.
Oh yeah, we had an interaction. We had a mutual goal. We helped each other, and apparently he got what he wanted, but he didn't seem like a threat.
Wolf still out there?
They are, but they look like now they're splitting into smaller parties and then going around the lake as well as out along the roadways.
Now that's interesting. They split their party.
Maybe let them disperse a bit more and then strike.
It takes about another 10 minutes until they're out of the area. Is there anything in that 10 minutes that you guys want to do?
I want to check out this armor and see if it fits me, but at the same time, I don't want to just steal somebody's shit.
The armor is humanoid plate mail, so if you're able to utilize and wear heavy armor, you can put it on.
Yeah, I've got heavy armor provision. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try putting it on. I'm just going to see.
We want to try and take a short rest while we're up here? Or no.
It's pretty safe. You guys could probably take a short rest.
You said there was food up
There
Yes,
is. There's preserved food packages and stuff like that. Guys could probably get about a day's worth of rations a piece out of it.
I'm not stealing anything from this man. He's got a tiger. What are you thinking? Short rest or no?
Yeah, I think a short rest is a good idea.
That
You
does
do
sound
see around, since you're poking around, you do see like large wintry style clothing, like overcoats and stuff like that. You do notice that where you're heading is getting colder.
Well, couldn't hurt to have a coat. I'm gonna take his things.
I'm gonna, yeah, can I write him a note? Like, will return armor when I get back?
Yes.
I'm going to put an addendum on that note. The fuck I will.
This 13 AC is really bothering me.
I did
Well,
not
that is
agree to
bad.
this, Adrian.
I'm gonna take one of
Yeah.
his coats though. Seems like a good idea.
Anybody else taking a warm coat?
Yeah.
All right. For
Leave the rations, the food. I don't want to take everything.
for when it matters, anybody who took the overcoat has winter clothing. When you're in cold weather climates, you do not have to make any checks to see if you get frostbite.
Winter clothing.
How many coats were there?
There's probably about
4. I'm gonna leave a note if I can find a pencil and something to write on.
There we go. Cold weather clothing.
Yep, Kojin's got the note going.
Okay, sorry I missed that.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna, let him know that we've got this. I've got his armor and his food, and I'll get the armor back and make up for the food somehow.
I'm gonna leave a note. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. I took your coat. It looks better on me anyway. I'm just guessing. Very sad note.
You would guess now that it is perfectly acceptable for you guys to leave. You haven't heard any wolves running around. You've taken your short rest. You can burn those hit dice if you want to. You got the armor set up, everything on. You're wearing the cold weather stuff if you so choose.
Yeah, figure we're heading that direction. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. Switch up, fold up my stuff, think about leaving it and be like, clothes for clothes. But then I'm like, but I have a backpack. So
You
put my clothes there instead. I don't have a backpack. It was part of me giving up stuff. I still don't regret it, and I'm carrying these
Yeah, I had
clothes.
to take my backpack off. I was like looking at my weight, and I was like, wait, I don't have to count all that because I don't have it.
How are you guys getting out of the tower?
Take the lift.
Tie
I
the rope, toss back down. I kind of don't want to try to go through that door the other way. That was a wild looking door.
So you just basically go the same way that
Yeah.
you came? Okay, that's
Same, and then I'll untie the rope at the end and take it down.
gotcha. Yeah, because you got spider climb, so that'd be easy for you
Yeah.
to just climb down.
Yeah, I got a climb speed equal to my movement. Is it equal to my movement, or is it specifically 30? Actually, that matters now.
I think the way that they've done everything is equal to your walking speed.
Equal to my walking speed. Yep. So 35 feet.
Awesome. All right. As
I'm gonna
you
take that
guys
mobile
hit
next.
as you guys hit this bridge area, you see a well-dressed humanoid stuck up in a tree with 4 wolves yipping and nipping at it.
Do we care about some dude hanging in a tree?
But what we have right now is the party seeing a gentleman stuck up a tree and 4 wolves are yipping, and he's basically dancing around on a low branch. He says, "Little help?"
I'm gonna turn to Adrian and say, at least we know they can't climb trees.
He overhears that and he goes, "Small comfort."
All right. Well, I'm gonna blood my whip up, and it's gonna
Yeah,
glow with a radiant fury of 20 feet.
I'm gonna try to cast produce flame. Does it work this time?
Yep. It just
Cool.
didn't work inside of that tower.
I think it was like an anti-magic field or bubble we were in.
That's pretty much what you guys came up with as you were taking your short rest and kind of trying to work through stuff. There's definitely an anti-magic field.
I'm gonna go ahead and take my. Nice. See, that's what I like to see. We'll take that damage, baby.
Yeah.
Is it possible for, or I could wait for after initiative to cast bless on the?
You could do it right now. Combat hasn't started. So if you wanted to hit everybody with bless, what are you doing,
Yeah.
and Jackals, to prepare?
I'm gonna use Red Ambusher.
Gotcha. So I will let you guys get first in the attack. Theater of the Mind. There are 4 of them, 3 of you dudes up in a tree. You are within range to use everything without having to use disadvantage. If you want to move up, it's within that movement for you guys to be able to do that.
Yeah,
We will
gonna-
get some initiative so that way we can actually have the turn order. All right, Dan Jackules, you are first as those wolves have stopped jumping up and they're conched up and snarling, looking at you.
All right, I'm just gonna hit the one closest to me. So I'm gonna use my Dread Ambusher, which gives me an extra 1d8 on a hit. Let me see.
What are you hitting with?
Crossbow.
Crossbow. And this is with silver bolts?
Yes.
All right.
15.
You hit it, and as soon as the silvered bolt flies into its haunch, it yelps. The other wolves take note of this and kind of turn. It grabs the crossbow bolt out with its mouth and spits it on the ground, and it starts to limp. into a defensive position. Adrain, it is your go.
Okay.
I still got a bunch of
Oh.
turns.
My bad.
That's all right. So
Thought
that was
so.
that was the first strike with the Dread Ambusher, and then I get an extra one with that, and that's going to be a 19.
That is also a hit. All right.
And then this is where I'm not quite sure because this is new to me, but so now I have I have 2 attacks per action. So that was my first action, but I had a bonus, so I did get 1 more attack.
So when you use the attack action, you get 2 attacks. So it has to be an action. Your bonus action is for all bonus action related shenanigans.
Right.
Hopefully
So-
I explained that effectively.
Yeah. I took 1 attack, but a Dread Ambusher gave me a bonus 1, so I still get 1 more attack. That's what I'm doing. You get 1 additional attack as part of that action.
So it's like on the first attack, you get to make 2 attacks.
Oh, right. You know what? I already rolled the 1d8 for that second one, so we're good.
All right.
Then I get my bonus here.
Which crossbow expert?
Ooh, that's another hit.
That is.
Not that you need it forward, but you're also under the effects of the blessed spell.
Yeah. Thanks for the reminder.
It is definitely looking rough as it has been hit 3 times. 3 crossbow bolts sticking out of it. Do we land on a number of crossbow bolts that you had?
Yeah, I just used 1, 2, 3, so I got I probably 3 left. So I had a dozen.
So I usually after combat you pick up half rounded up of ammunition. I would say you would have started out with at least 12. So I'd say you're at 9 right now.
Okay.
Just rough
Alright.
math.
We'll go with that then.
All right. And is that all your turns?
Yeah, it's my turn.
Got you. Going over to this one. Next up is Adrain.
All right. So they're all still up, of course.
They are, but that one wolf that got hit 3 times definitely looks like it's hurt really bad. The other 3 are not making nearly as much aggressive posture towards you.
Well, I am. In fact, quite, as I'm rushing a bit towards them, and, just to make it a little bit ahead of the party, I'm gonna give them a fucking wicked hiss, and then pull around to the other side, staying just out of reach, just to cover their point of escape if they try to. And I'm going to whip them.
All right, you going for a new one or the one that's already been hit?
I'm gonna go for the one. First attack is gonna be against the one that's already been hit.
All right, go ahead.
It's an 18 to hit.
Your whip slashes across it. It hits and then it starts to turn. The form of a humanoid takes its place.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't know if I need to, but that's also 1 additional radiant damage.
It's down.
And the second one's on a new one.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna shout out, we don't keep dogs, we discipline them.
Seem to remember another time that somebody was like, bad dog. That's a hit.
That's gonna be a critical hit.
Nice. Did it
So
double the damage?
it did it. Let's see.
It did not double the dice. I see you rolled a 1 on the 1d4 plus the 6.
Oh, it did.
Oh, okay.
It did, because
Yeah.
the 6 is the first one, and then the 2 is the doubling. It's rolling the additional die. And so that's 9 total, plus I'm gonna roll a d6.
Gotcha.
And if I don't know if I double that one either. Do I double my
You double any dice rolled.
Oh, sweet. So that's an additional 2 damage then.
That's 11.
It's 11, baby.
Yelps out in pain.
And that's going to be my turn.
Gotcha. Kojin, it is your go.
All right, I'm going to start moving towards one of them, and as I do, I'm going to go ahead and throw that produce flame at the nearest one.
Gotcha.
No, 10's not going to hit shit.
No, it does.
Oh, it does? Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
They're butt naked wolves.
All right, so yeah, I guess that hits. That's going to be 12 points of fire damage.
Fire cascades all over it as these wolves are now in a little bit of a panic. Is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
Just other than that, going to get the good old fire out. That'll be it.
All right. On their turn, they disengage and then howl and move away. I know that triggers your sentinel.
Yeah, I'm going to still attack, obviously. The one that got burnt, if he's
All right.
running.
Yep.
I want him down.
Go ahead and make that attack. Anything over a 10.
Okay, there it is. And that's going to be 9 slashing damage, plus an additional 4, 13. So that's 4 radiant.
You take a big chunk out of it. It's limping, but it still makes it.
Okay.
They are cutting through the woods out of combat.
Well, except for that one, no, he's not limping, because when I hit him, he stops.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you. He gets wrapped up and stopped into place. He's trying. You you've seen before when animals get trapped, you basically got them
Yeah.
held down there. And now it's like sitting there, it's curled back in on itself, and it's like sitting there snarling. Back up to the top of the round, it is going to be Dan Jaggles.
Do we want to interrogate this one or kill it?
Both.
Why not the wolf? I like your attitude. I would like to walk up to it and ask it, where's your fearless leader? What's his name again?
As he starts to walk up to it, I'm gonna put my hand out to like stop him from getting
Okay.
too close.
It is baring teeth and raising its hackles.
It's it is a werewolf.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to get bit.
I'm gonna put another bolt in it.
All right.
In the leg. 22 for an additional 6.
It is incapacitated. If you wanted to have knocked it out, if you wanted to have killed it, it is dead.
I think we
We'll
want to
knock it out. Knock it out.
All right. It goes back into the shape of a young human male, probably 16, 17, you'd guess.
Oh boy.
I tell him, you get down from the tree, and we need to leave now.
He climbs down and starts running towards Krezk. He makes it about 200 feet, and he like doubles over, hands on knees, sucking air, huffing and puffing, like, it's been a while since I've had to run for my life.
And which one of us is going to carry? I'll drag him. It's easier to drag.
I'm pretty sure I can carry him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier to drag. I'll just tie him up and drag him.
Let's just drag him.
Tie him up and drag him. He's good. As you're walking and talking, he introduces himself. His name is Vasili Von Holtz. He is heading to Krezk to talk to the abbot.
I want to point out, obviously, I meant the werewolf.
Yeah.
Not this conscious guy who can't run. Like, I just want to point out that there might be confusion. He said, yeah.
His name is Vasili Von Holtz. He's from the town of Vallaki. He's heading to Krezk to talk to the abbot. He heard that the abbot's performing miracles.
What kind of miracle?
Dmitry Krezkov and his wife Anna, the Burgo Master and his wife, have seemed to have a run of bad luck. They had 4 children. The last one, Ilya, 14, died. But the abbot, who hasn't come out of the Abbey of Saint Markovia, went down there and brought this child back to life and said something about how there needs to be a Krezkov in charge. And, well, let's just face it, the town of Vallaki's kind of been a shit show, and Viktor Vallakovich has asked him to see if the same thing can't be done for his father.
I
Yeah.
heard that he died.
Crazy. A group of people broke into his house, hunted him down while his house was on fire, and murdered him in front of his wife and kid.
What kind of world we living in?
Yeah,
A very
I heard
scary
there
one.
was some sort of secret book involved, even. Crazy things, rituals.
Now, if we're just talking about crazy books, Lady Wachter, she's got a book club. I heard that she has parties at her house, and she manifests electrum out of like thin air and gives it to her faithful followers.
It sounds like she can't manifest gold to get your game up.
he laughs at that. Well, I mean, it's a miracle on a budget, but I don't know, man. If this abbot is able to do everything he says, it's weird. He hasn't been seen for over 25 years, and then he comes down the same day that his son dies and brings him back from the dead. Of course, word like that is going to make it around in a place like this.
Do you mind if we accompany you to Krezk?
I was going to suggest that we travel together. You seem more than capable. And after a while, you start to hear the sounds of the person becoming awake whom you've tied up.
Oh boy. I'm gonna bring some light to the situation with my whip. Sort of wiggling it around.
He starts to move away. Finally, his eyes fix on you, wild. What do you want?
The next thing you say is going to be the most important thing you say in your short and miserable life. There's a leader.
I'm going to let you go with a persuasion or an intimidation, depending on how you're feeling.
I'm feeling the intimidation.
Might as
Neither
well
of them
give
are
it.
going to be very good.
Well, I mean, let's do it at advantage. You definitely have a superior position to hit.
Okay, I'm just going to have to roll it twice the way I see the problem, and I can fix that next time. But I got a 13 was my high one.
All right. Kirill's out on a hunt. He'll be looking for you, though. The rest of the pack ran back.
What are we going to do with this young boy? I fear we can't let him go.
He is cursed. I know a way to cure the curse. Yeah, we kill him.
Vasili Von Holtz just kind of looks a little bit shocked. Well, I mean, if the abbot was able to bring somebody back to life, you might be able to take care of what's going on. But then again, you are right. Oh man, I really wish those wolves didn't spook my horse. I'd already be in Krezk right now.
So maybe we can take the werewolf with us and see if the abbot can help him, but not if he's going to fight us the whole way.
I am definitely going to have to voice a major objection.
Here's the deal. All it takes is one scratch, one bite, and we got a new problem on our hands. It's unfortunate, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought your goal was to rid the land of these werewolves.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Vasili pipes up again. Krezk is very secluded. They probably won't let you in with him. They might not even let you guys in. Like, I have business with the abbot. I might be able to speak on your behalf, but they are definitely not going to want this guy. Krezk is like, the werewolves have been stealing the children. So bringing him there is also a death sentence.
I'm nodding, listening along as I'm wrapping the whip around his neck.
our Father, without in heaven, thy name, as I read him his last rites.
I'm
So what is
yanking it.
what is the end result?
The end result is that he's going to die. We've decided that he has a death.
However that happens in your guys' mind, the end result is that this werewolf has met his last.
Yep.
Live by the tooth, die by the tooth.
I thought he might be useful to get some info about.
Just because, out of respect, because he is just a young teenager. He didn't choose this life. I am going to bury him.
Oh boy.
Vasili actually helps you. He like finds a stick and starts like knocking some dirt away and stuff like that. He's filled with like nervous, talkative energy. He basically like exposits his whole life story. He's like a business person. He travels around, but he's trying to see what's going on with the stuff. He's been in Vallaki for a while, and then afterwards, you guys do your thing. You say the words, and then we can bring us to the door of Krezk. The road breaches north and climbs to a rocky escarpment, ending in a gatehouse built into a 20-foot high wall of stone reinforced with buttresses every 50 feet or so. The wall encloses a settlement on the sides of a snow-dusted mountain spur. Beyond the wall, you see the tops of snow-covered pines and thin white wisps of smoke. The somber toll of a bell comes from the stone abbey that clings to the mountainside above the settlement. The steady chiming is inviting, a welcome change from the deathly silence and oppressive fog which you've been grown accustomed to. It's hard to tell at this distance, but there might just be a switchback road clinging to the cliffs that lead up to the walled settlement of the Abbey. What is everybody doing?
I would like to try and enter the correct way to see if we're allowed in with our guest.
So you get to the gatehouse. There's two humanoids. They're dressed a lot better than normal guards. They seem to have like longbows and short swords or long swords. They want to know what your business is.
Hunting werewolves.
Hunting werewolves, yeah.
Well, then the Burgo Master is definitely going to want to hear about you. It's the first door as you go in, and they point towards the big thing on the sides.
Much obliged.
You notice hung around the entire archway, there's like wolf's bane, and they're watching to see your reaction as you walk through. There's like no reaction, so you're all able to go through. Let me bring this to that part of the map.
All right, so step 1, buy wolfsbane. There's no step 2, really. I guess that I was just saying we should buy some wolfsbane.
Got it. Check.
If this is used to identify werewolves or something, looking for a reaction, that's probably useful.
Yes.
The problem with hunting werewolves is that they like to look like humans.
Does everybody see where we're at?
Yep.
Where are we headed again?
So they
First
pointed this out as being the Burgo Master's house.
Oh, okay. I was about to go into that first house. Damn.
Hey, I'm gonna
Be like, I'm here.
I'm gonna whisper to Adrian and be like, "We're not killing this one."
Technically, I haven't killed him.
I haven't either, but nobody else needs to.
Wasn't that the little one and the flying one that did the
Yes.
murdering? Yeah.
Hopefully, they're looking deep in their souls, staring at that fire.
Well, the Burgo Master deserved it. And I did not wait for him.
That's true.
I did not expect the kobold to go all barbecue on the fucking servants. Be real.
That wasn't even the servants. That was guest.
Guests.
That was like noble guest of the town of Vallaki.
Same problem.
Innocent people. That's why I got a problem.
It's like, yeah, people were rushing out. It's like, I love the language. It's like, well, they came charging. So, like, what?
As you're walking through, you do notice that all of these houses have like stuff built. They all look self-contained. So it's like as part of the house, there are chicken coops and like animal pens and stuff like that in there. And each one of these plots of land also has what seems to be like a small family graveyard. And as you're looking through, you notice that almost all the graves have been disturbed.
Let's go talk to this Burgo Master.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking right here. How much more do we want to go without the rest of the group? That they couldn't make it. We could like probably about another half hour. Talk to the Burgo Master.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Let's just talk to him.
All right. You knock on the door. Large, balding man with tan skin answers the door. Dmitry Krezkov, Burgo Master.
Hello, Mr. Burgo Master. I'm JD. Introduce yourselves, guys.
I'm Kojin.
Adrain, Kojin, GD.
We're here to talk about werewolves.
Oh, I thought for sure it was going to be more people asking about the abbots. But yes, werewolves. This whole town has been plagued by them. We've sent hunters up north. They have a den, but nobody's made it back. They've been stealing our children throughout the night.
That explains the young.
So you've already fought some of them.
Yes.
Then you must be the heroes that we've sent for.
I do not recall being sent for, but
We
we are here to hunt werewolves.
we were able to send word with the Vistani through the mist, and they approached your heroes guild and said that they would have a party of people. We thought that much like everybody else, that you succumbed to the land. It's nice to see you though.
I just kind of chuckle at Heroes Guild. Yes. Big.
I couldn't help notice all the grave sites. Why are they all disturbed like that?
It seems that none of our dead stay in the ground for more than a week.
You know, there's a good solution to that. Cremation.
You just like solved the problem.
He's like
He's
thinking
like,
about it.
you could use fire.
He can use fire. He's like, well, I'm glad that I didn't burn my child, Ilya.
Where do they all go to?
They disappear throughout the nights. Most dead, when they become restless, they attack. I've also heard about the restless dead in Argynvostold. These simply vanish from the grave.
Not peculiar.
Nothing. Oh man.
Is there anybody recently dead?
Well, didn't we just bury somebody down?
The last person that ended up dying was his son Ilya, but before they could have a funeral for him, the abbot came down and healed him.
Damn.
Oh, that's why he didn't burn his son.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh,
Earlier you said that you thought it was about the abbot. What's going on with the abbot?
So the abbot showed up when my father ran this place, and about 25 years ago, he went into seclusion, and that's kind of when the abbey fell into disrepair. There was a family called the Bellevues, I believe, who went there seeking a cure for their leprosy. Over time, various other people have went up there, but nobody's come back. And the church bells ring at odd hours, and anybody getting close enough can hear laughs and cackles. The abbot strode down like there was nothing. He didn't have a concern in the world. And then he took my boy's hand, and by the divine light of the morning lord, breathed life back into him. He said that there always needs to be a Krezkov in charge of Krezk. And then he asked me for a favor. He wanted me to get him a wedding dress. I didn't think he was the marrying type.
Do you know who the dress was for?
He wouldn't say. He just said that the sooner that I could get him a dress, the better. And that if it went over a month, my son might not survive.
Have you got him the dress?
What's that?
Have you got him the dress?
That's kind of what I got. The impression was that my son was going to die if I didn't get him a wedding dress. I sent people around, and it's this time Vasili Von Holtz speaks up, and he goes, I've heard that the Burgo Master's widow in Vallaki, she has a dress that she was quite fond of. Lady Petrovovich, if that's of any help.
I remember the dress from the house, but I don't remember who actually found it.
It was alluded to that, like, Victor told you guys that his mother was, like, crying and, like, looking at the dress and, like, wearing the dress and being very just caught up in the fact that was her husband's.
So you still remember, right? Oh, this is the most messed up idea I've ever had. Because you have disguised self, so you could just be like, pretend to be her. husband that we killed and then show up and be like, woo, in order for my soul to rest, you have to give me your dress so I can remember you by.
Say yes to the dress. Undead edition.
That is the most, yeah, I think that's about the most messed up idea I've come up with in D&D right there.
I need the dress.
And then just like, as you're leaving, also, I cheated on you. And then like run out.
Oh, you bastard.
That way she could move on.
I never loved you.
And then you change back and go through the door and be like, sup, name's DJ.
That's right. Rebound.
It is mighty peculiar that this abbot wants a wedding dress.
Yeah, I'm a bit specifically suspicious about that one.
Kind of, but
You can always take the long road up there. Vasili, I actually need to go there myself. I have business with the abbot.
is there anything else we want to talk to the Burgo Master about, or should we go talk to the abbot?
I mean, I'm sure we could talk with him on the way. He has business with the abbot as well. Where is the abbot at?
The abbot is at right there. The abbey on top of.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
That's all right.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go see if I can secure an inn. You guys go ahead and go there and do that.
Unfortunately, there are no inns in the area because the town of Krezk is just so secluded.
Yeah. Let's see this.
The
Jeez.
Burgo Master does say, as a rule of hospitality, that he will put you up in his own house if you need a place.
What time of day is it?
Oh man, it was like what, 5 a.m.? We'll say 8 a.m. day 6.
About 8 a.m.
All right, well, let's go up to the abbey.
All right, you start making the long switchback going up the abbey and stuff like that. It increases. Each one of those hash marks is like 100 feet. So you go from basically like 200 feet elevation up to 800 feet elevation as you're climbing this thing, going back up and down.
Super glad I'm not a smoker.
Kind of
You-
regretting the whole chain or the plate now.
The plate was a bad idea.
You do notice there's a pool right there that certain people are gathering water from that you see as you're going. And just about the time you reach the corner, you switch back and go up. There is a small gatehouse in front. The road from the village climbs up above the mist into the wide ledge of which the abbey is perched. A light dusting of snow covers the trees and the rocky earth. The gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot high, 3-foot thick wall of jumbled stone held together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to an outbuilding by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its wings adjoined by 15-foot high curtain walls. The belfry protrudes from the rooftop of the closer north wing, which also supports a chimney blowing gray smoke. Who's got a passive perception above 4?
No, or wait, maybe. I forgot. Is that the proper feat I took?
Above 14, I do. I hear snoring. Somebody's snoring up there. Can you hear it? It would make sense since it's 5 a.m. Right?
It is. Here you go. I put you guys onto there. You hear snoring coming from both sides of the gatehouse.
So I forget the guy's name. He's with us, right?
Yeah,
Vasili. Vasili, you gonna be able to get us in, or what's going on? Sounds like these guards are sleeping.
before we enter, I should tell you, the abbot is a very eclectic person, and you will see things that might shock your senses. Humanoid mingled with beast, small things with no intellect, wings, a hodgepodge without rhyme or reason. The majority of them that I've interacted with have been calm, but there is a touch of madness to these beings. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Don't stare at him in his eyes. What are you saying?
Maybe it's best if I... And then he kicks the gate a couple times, and then 2 humanoid creatures come up. You see Siegfried Bellevue and Otto Bellevue. Both look like a conglomeration of different beasts put together. Otto has a canine ear that comes up, a large snout hunched over, dog legs and a tail. Siegfried has what looks like patches of fur on part of her face, scales on the other, reptilian eye, humanoid eye. A lot of scales hunched over. As soon as you look at her, she grimaces and then hides her appearance. Vasili says, Go get your master," as they both start to run off. This is
What
what
the-
I'm saying.
Yeah. You guys ever seen anything like
Oh,
that?
yeah.
It's weird.
You see about a 6 foot tall human, pale skin, frosty blue eyes, platinum blonde hair, walking effortlessly. Otto and Siegfried are both kind of circling, pointing at you guys, talking and stuff like that. The abbot goes by, opens the door. Mr. Von Holtz, I've made much progress since you were last here. I hope that everything will be to expectations. The Burgo Master assures me that he can get me a dress before tomorrow. I would like her presentable. I see you have friends. My name is Abbot. What is your name?
Hello, Abbot. My name is JD.
My name is Kojin.
Hey,
Hello. It is almost time to eat. How do you feel about turnips and radish stew?
Sounds great.
Well, please follow me. Are you guys going to follow him?
Yeah.
You make your way through the Abbey. It's had better days as you come through what looks like a large central area. Let me read this to you because it's important. A gentle sound of music trickles down from above, played by a single string instrument of some unseen master. The ground floor is one large 50-foot room with arched leaded glass windows. A cauldron sits on an iron rack above a fire in a hearth, while above the fireplace mantel hangs a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun. In one corner, a wooden staircase climbs to the upper levels, while in the other corner, a stone staircase descends into darkness. Several chairs around the wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. Wooden dishware and golden cabrellas are neatly arranged on the table, standing behind which is a young woman with alabaster skin, dressed in a torn and soiled red gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled as to not touch her soft shoulders. She seems lost in her own thoughts. She's facing away, and then the abbot says, "Vasilka, we have guest." She turns around and you see Irina, or at least that's what you think you see. And then you start picking up fine lines where it looks like flesh had been sutured together and grafted and concocted. It looks like a multitude of different things. This lady looks like she's gone extensive surgery and looks almost exactly like Irina.
So I hear there's going to be a wedding soon.
Yes, if everything goes to plan, Vasilka takes the little tatters of the dress and she curtsies, and then she sits down. Vasilka here is meant to pacify Strahd. You see, as per his instructions, I have made him a bride, which will satisfy his desires, and then he will leave us alone. Vasili looks at the abbot. I see you've been getting a lot of use out of that book. Yes. And he pulls out this dusty tome, throws it down, or no, sets it down in front of Vasili, says, "Yes, I'm completed with it. You may have it back." In a passing look, you guys see that it is looks like an instruction manual on how to create flesh golems.
oh,
Lovely.
Nothing strange about it.
Nothing strange at all.
so
Like I've
So-
wandered into some kind of crazy ass dream. So is that thing's not alive, is it?
As you're looking, you do not see any rise and fall of the chest with breathing. She hasn't even opened her mouth. She is just looking at you with electric blue eyes as she is just kind of scanning and taking everything in. She has a bowl of rabbit and turnip soup in front of her, and she dips her thing into it, puts it towards her face, does not eat it, and then puts it back in, and then gently dabs each corner of her mouth with a napkin, and then puts it back into her thing. The abbot's like, "Very good. Remember our lessons. What a proper lady should do. We want you on your best behavior for dinner tomorrow." What are you guys thinking?
what am I thinking?
Tomorrow?
Well,
Is it
that's
the
not
same-
gonna work, but I'm not gonna tell them. That's
Like-
not gonna scratch the itch. That's not gonna be the one. That's not the winner. That's definitely going to be an embarrassing moment for you, and I hope to be there, which it sounds like I will. So
Guess who's coming to dinner?
that's
Well, we're going to be at that same dinner, right?
Right?
Yes.
yes.
Yes,
So
you
we're
are.
going to get to see what I'm pretty sure they're about to try to do. It's not gonna work. Incredible. So that's basically what I'm thinking. Like, wow, that's gonna be a spectacular failure.
So he needs
like
that dress though, right? Before the dinner tomorrow?
What's that?
The abbot did request a dress. He's trying to get it. as quickly as possible. It seems like tomorrow is his timeline that he wants it by. She's wearing probably what somebody that who is part of her was buried in. It is a moth-eaten red gown that shows a lot of signs of decay.
I'm just thinking, but where are all the bodies going?
Yeah.
Probably found out. Yep.
Yeah, that's a woohoo. Thanks, Scoob and the gang. We got this one. We
I mean,
we
Abbott-
unmasked the villain, and it turns out it was unspeakable horror.
Yeah.
If it all unfolds tomorrow, Strahd's not going to be happy. So let him take care of.
I kind of
No,
want to
this
be
is-
there.
That's kind of we are. I think we're
Yeah.
going to be there, so this is going to be fantastic. Like, 'cause that's what I'm thinking. Like, should I stop this? No,
No.
no, I shouldn't.
So the question is, do we try and get the dress though to save the son? 'Cause it sounds like the son will
Sounds like he made a deal,
Yeah.
and that's not my problem. I'm also thinking and not saying.
This kind of reminds you of something that Madame Eva once said. Certain parts of a Taroka reading starting to play a little bit in your head.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll just keep this to ourselves. I think this is something we need to talk about later
Yeah.
while we're not sitting right here. But I mean, you want to rescue her?
You start hearing heavy footfalls coming from the upper place. One of our other guests is coming, as you see a rather flamboyant Vistani woman walking down, and as one of her legs hits, it's making a metallic click, click, click. You see that she has a prosthesis. It says, Esmeralda, I hope your searchings of the library have been fruitful. Unfortunately, before I got here, Strahd had taken almost anything of worth. See, she's got bandages kind of like wrapped around her and stuff like that. She definitely looks like she's nursing a couple injuries. As she sits same side as Vasilka, opposite end. There's a whole bunch of room between them. And then they begin to talk, and she seems to disagree with what the abbot's doing. And she says that she alone will fight Strahd and kill him and rid this land of evil. With or without Rudolph Van Richten.
I know that name. Pretty sure this armor belongs to him.
That's the guy with Sabertooth.
Do you bring that up?
That we know him?
Yeah.
Then you've seen him. Where is he?
Vallaki.
Vallaki. The one place that they don't allow Vistani. That fucking bastard. That's how he's able to hide from me. I thought for sure he's in that tower. Parked my wagon there so that way he'd know where I'm at. Oh, don't touch it. It's dangerous.
Absolutely.
I'll try to spread the word. Hopefully, nobody.
Hopefully nobody's
triggers
dumb enough.
it.
to
I
lie.
wouldn't
heard
say dumb.
some.
Maybe they were just curious. It's
I heard something, and then I also heard the wolves.
So
They
what's
have
your
to get a
history
shock from that tower.
What's your
I don't have
history?
my wagon. What's my history?
with Rudolph?
He saved my life, and then he taught me everything I know. We traveled together for a while, and as most people with strong personalities and family, we went our separate ways. We fought, and then I came here looking for him. Because the last thing I heard is that he's going after Strahd von Zarovich, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let him die. Rudolph, not Strahd. Strahd can die.
I'm kind of curious, Mr. Abbott. What happens if your plan doesn't go to plan? And he doesn't like the bride.
That is impossible. Mr. Von Holtz, as a liaison for Strahd, told me that this is what he wanted. You see Vasili crack a smile. Yes, absolutely. My master Strahd asked you to build him a bride, so that way he doesn't ever have to worry about losing Tatiana again. You've done a great job. Hopefully we can find that dress. You know what? We're going to be going by Vallaki. Maybe I can talk to Lady Petrovna, if that's not her name. It's the Burgo Master's widow.
so on to kill Strahd.
You talking to Esmeralda?
Yeah,
Yes.
you were the first person to make sense in like this entire life.
I don't understand why people are hesitating. It should be cut and dry. I
I
was
think we
already
can make
inside
deals
of his
with him.
castle. I barely left alive the first time.
Tell me about it.
You've been in there too?
People think they can make deals with him. They can't. He won't. Doesn't care.
He's going to use you and get what he wants. Nobody else sees this. Well, you do.
I see this. You see. There is hope. Bright lights in the sky. I know me and my companions would easily lend ourselves to these gods.
If you're looking for somebody to tackle Strahd, I'll go with you. I'll help you kill him.
Yeah, well, perhaps
I've been
he
planning
bit
for
off more
this.
than he could chew with his invitation.
I've been planning for this for a while. I've got wooden stakes. I've got silvered weapons. I've got potions. I've got healing potions. I've got holy water. All waiting for me in my carriage.
About that.
So, see, no, you had all of those things in which used to be your cat.
That trap you worked rather well.
We were walking by the tower earlier, and unfortunately, there was a wagon out front that was set ablaze.
Wipe where my eyebrows were singed.
Right.
I don't know if the werewolves did it, but there's not
Yes, it was the werewolves. Yeah.
So I guess my do not disturb sign just fell off in the wind. Fucking shit.
Was there? I investigated. I didn't see a sign.
Yeah.
I didn't really look for one.
No, I didn't see a sign before I blew it up.
Well, it's better than going towards the enemies. There are two ways that I see this. One, find Rudolph Van Richten. He's got more equipment. He's also got some stuff in that tower. Or up north is the werewolves, but I've already lost a leg to them. Well, I've got you three. Maybe we can mount an offensive.
We are invited to dinner.
Very true. I don't think that we can come armed to the teeth. She kind of chuckles at herself. She's like, vampire hunting joke.
And yeah, real funny.
Well, if we can stop by, he's on our way back towards Cat Ravenloft, right?
It is, but I can't.
I'd
go
rather
in there.
not.
Oh, you can't. Well, neither can we. Shit.
I was about to say, like, no, we're all in that boat.
Oh, what about? Do we even know that Dan can do that yet?
So I'm just saying, Ghost Burgo
the change
Master
self?
idea, looking pretty good.
Well, just to get the dress, though. I mean, if we don't get to sit back and
Fine.
watch it burn,
Well,
is it really?
I mean, worst case scenario, I think maybe we just offer people money here. Somebody probably has something that's passable. I kind of
Seems like,
need to save my money for a new wagon. I really like that crossbow too.
I feel your pain.
So, fellas, are we gonna tell her about the whole journal?
Yeah.
Have you guys read the journal?
I did, yes. That's what I was doing the whole time we were up in the room while we were looking around. I'm just like, guys.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to pause it so that way the next session we get more people coming into it. But yeah, man, like what does that journal say?
Yeah, that was bad. That's why I said, yeah, we met him alone, and then, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize there was more than one page to that.
Did anybody take the head?
No, we left it.
So next session, what does it look like you guys are doing?
Are we going? We're getting close to dinner.
We
Wanna
gotta find a
give-
dress.
Do we? Is that our responsibility?
So you've got pretty much the entire rest of today, and then up until like we'll say 5 p.m. is when you're expected at Strahd's tomorrow.
I'll spend some time, my plan at least, with Esmeralda. Any extra time we have. Basically tell her no questions, and then kind of explain a bit of what I know about the layout of the castle.
She starts talking to you as well, and she's actually like been able to sneak in there. She lets you know that like she cast greater invisibility on herself, and she was able to kind of like go around. She's got some familiarity with it, and then she asks if you've ever been to the crypts.
What's the answer to that?
Would you have?
Probably.
Yeah, that's a dangerous place. She ended up like making it down there, and then there like was way too much, which jives because you know that it's very dangerous down there. There's ghosts, ghouls, zombies, traps. Also where Strahd's resting place is, his brother Sergei, and then both his mother and his father all have vaults there. That's where she was trying to go, was to Strahd's chamber, but she stepped in the wrong area and ended up in Salenka Pass.
Yeah, no, she has. Have you ever been to the crypts? I'm like, oh, yes, that's very, yes.
Yeah, she stepped on the wrong thing and got herself teleported halfway across Barovia.
I'm just, spending time seeing if we can figure out how to use this dinner to potentially strike, lay an ambush. It would hardly be an ambush. He'd have to see it coming. Like, we wouldn't be able to have delusions of we're going to spring this on him.
I don't think any of us are strong enough yet.
I don't think so either. But
Zelda has run into other adventurers, and Strahd usually likes to play with his food, for lack of a better word. He is looking for a successor, and he's found one. Oddly enough, looks kind of like you, Adrian, but it was one of those old adventurers. He's basically that adventurer betrayed his party and then took Strahd up on his deal. So now Strahd's grooming him. Now he's really excited to get Irina because as soon as he gives Irina, that other guy basically takes over, and Strahd and his brides are able to leave Barovia because somebody else will have taken on that curse.
Really? Yeah, he'll just spend his time then asking Esmeralda, seeming oddly interested. What is he like, the success?
From what she could tell from her run-ins before he betrayed everybody, he was a minstrel and a storyteller. He kind of wowed Strahd with his tales of what's outside of these lands. And then he was able to, like when Strahd said, I am looking for somebody to be my successor so that way I can pass the mantle of Dark Lord of Barovia over to them and leave these lands as soon as I have my beloved Tatiana.
So, yeah, I've heard the speech.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Oh, Vasilka is your fated ally. So since you have ran into her and teamed up with her, you guys get level 6.
Oh shit! Nice.
Because that's part of the milestone leveling.
Nice.
Is she gonna accompany us now?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
She will be with you for the dinner, and then after that, it is kind of like up to you guys. But you have found one of the 3 things that you need. You found your fated ally. Actually, there's a couple things. You found your fated ally. You still need the Sun Sword. You need the Tome of Strahd, which is Strahd's diary. And then you also the holy symbol of Ravenkind. And then if you go into the handout section with the whole like quest leveling and stuff like that, I put what the Taroka deck said for like all of these.
That's cool. Got that one then. So, did we restore hope to that? Was that hill with the hags? Was that what that one was?
So you did the make the lands of Barovia safer for the locals by defeating the evil within the old bone grinder windmill. That was defeating the hags and burning the windmill down.
Ooh, okay.
You also did the whole restoring hope to the lands and stopping the ritual at Yester Hill. So that's how you guys got level 4. And then 5 was the hags. And now 6 is forming an alliance with Strahd's enemy, which, according to the Taroka reading, Vasilka is your fated ally. And then let me know if you have any questions on the stuff that it would say for the other.
Oh my goodness.
So we need to find those other 2 things before we go to dinner tomorrow?
You don't need to. I'm not going to say. It's up to you guys what you do. Whether you're like, we're just going to do a cannonball run and try to get this stuff. Strahd has extended the invitation to come to dinner. It is happening tomorrow. You're expected around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Whether or not you show up is player agency.
Well, I want to go because I can't wait to see the abbot hand that monstrosity over to him.
Well, it looks like Vasili Von Holtz is there to get Vasilka and bring her. He actually says that there is going to be one of Strahd's carriages coming outside of the town of Krezk to get him and Vasilka, and you all are more than welcome. The carriage will be arriving at 4 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. So there will be a black carriage for you guys.
I'm gonna ask. Is it possible to ask if she knows anything about the sleeping prince, the servant of light, the brother of darkness?
So the duality of Strahd is his brother, Sergei. These are the things that are coming to my mind. The sleeping prince, but Sergei does not sleep. He has been dead for 400 years. Strahd put him in the crypts of Castle Ravenloft. Some people say that you can hear him wailing and bemoaning the death of his poor brother. But that's what some people say. I don't know. What do you think?
Just thinking that it's possible to find a little bit more help going into this, find help and ensure a better outcome.
There are legends that have been told about Sergei von Zarovich, Strahd's younger brother. Not as good looking, but a capable warrior. He was said to have had a crystal sword that he won many battles with. And, well, when Sergei and Tatiana fell on their wedding day, people say that his grief overtook him and he asked a powerful wizard to break this blade in two and destroy it. And It happened, but nobody knows where. It seems like these cards, though, do predict the future. But I hate to say this, they have not been successful for the others in the past. There are people in this valley that know. And then Esmeralda, she's like, I read Taroka deck. I've got a set of cards in my wagon. Son of a bitch.
Helps it wasn't the very nice wagon.
Good trap work. We're in the middle. Almost 2 hours.
That's the only solace I take in losing my wagon is my trap worked well.
Yeah, it worked very well.